Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the fourth age group World Championships in Hobart at the Dune Aquatic Center. And a big shout out for the state government and the Aquatic Center staff here who have been very helpful. Joining me in the booth today is from the Great Britain 23, Dave Bruce, to help me commentate Australia versus Great Britain. Welcome, Dave.
Hello, hello. Yeah, it should be an interesting game here between these two sides. Obviously, Great Britain are just looking to continue their winning form. They did I think they did lose last night, but they are obviously looking to get a bit more consistent.
Two middle of the table battles here. We got Australia in fourth place with Great Britain right behind them, but they're all basically even across the board except for goals for and against. So even on points, Dave.
Definitely so. Yeah, goal difference all the same. Should be an interesting battle.
Yeah. So we've got looking at the screens. We've got Australia playing in white today versus Great Britain in black. And we've got 47 seconds to go. So I'm looking forward to this game very much, Dave, because a battle of different styles. We got
so New Zealand played 6-1, 6 of this.
And we'll see who will dominate today.
I think also we've got a battle of the Orcadians here with Emma Lamar on the Australian team playing against two fellow Orcadians on the Great Britain team.
Lost 3.
Should be an interesting
so
one.
the Colombians are definitely going to be very keen to have as good a crack as they can at the New Zealanders sitting top of the ladder there, Rach.
I certainly will. So the Orcadians from the Orkney Islands off the top of Scotland.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
So we've got two of them there. So that's Danielle Ritchie and Maddie Walker. They're both from Orkney, joining Emma Lamar in the water on the Australian team, number 11, Emma Lamar. She's also from the Orkney Islands.
They move the puck into this wide court, Dave. I'm not sure about you, but this court's 25 by 15. How are you enjoying playing in such a wide court?
It certainly makes a difference and shows the true fitness of all these teams. It's brilliant to play in. Obviously, I mean, it's obviously the widest court, one of the widest courts that I've played in personally. I know it just shows it's the battle of the fittest in there.
Yeah, that combination is the ability to play your style of hockey on the bottom of the pool constantly requires a high level of fitness. Can you give us some sort of insight? You don't have to spill all the secrets of the Great Britons, but in some insights for some of our viewers to give some idea of how much work in an average week for you.
So basically, when I was training before the World Championships, swimming quite a few times a week, maybe 4 or 5 times a week, plus a lot of gym work. But swimming was my main focus, and just trying to get my cardio fitness up to the top.
Yeah, so good to hear you're doing a lot of fitness in the cardio work on the swimming side of things. But interesting, if I can dive a bit deeper into that, Dave, and sort of pick your brain here. Is it more just traditional type swimming, or are you sort of adjusting that to sort of the styles you actually use in the hockey? It looks like the Brits are pressing here, but yeah. So do you do more like what it's like to be playing underwater hockey?
I mean, there is a fair bit of breath hold stuff as I swim. Yeah. I struggled when I was south that the pool I was training in wouldn't let me in with fins, so that didn't really help my training in too well. But then I had to make do with that. So it was a lot of breath hold training without fins, obviously.
Yeah, we find that quite common here. Swimming in fins with public swimming, we need to ensure that no one's using the fin in the court, so you can use them. As the Great Britons are really pressing the Australians in their corner. The Australians are defending it, but the British team is recycling it quite well. I guess you would sort of train these types of styles in corner situations as the ref calls an obstruction against Australia, asking them to move back, giving the Brits a free puck in the attacking half.
Yeah, it's certainly part of the game that's very common. You've got to practice it. It happens in every game. There's no getting away from it. You've got to practice it.
Yeah, with that, as you say, there's 4 corners to a pool, and you're liable to be in at least one of those, maybe 50% of the time.
Certainly.
Looks like the Great Britons are attacking the corner. Still bottled up in the side, and the Brits are recycling. The Australians are trying to control the puck and then move forward. But we have another call by the referees who. We have it's a call against Great Britain this time. It looked like some sort of stick infringement as the referees are qualifying it, clarifying it, and then lining up for their sense. So that gives the Australians a bit of a relief to gain some possession of the puck to set themselves and get it out of our end.
Yeah, Great Britain just need to settle down and just try and capitalise on the pressure that they have.
It looks like the Australians are trying to move it wide, but that Great Britain girl was straight on her, but she seemed to run out a bit of puff there, and the Australians have regrouped on the wall. How do you train for the style you play, Dave? Do you have different scenarios that you run through and rehearse those as you go, and so that you're actually all on the same page in your group?
Definitely. I mean, we've got our own. Every team's got their own style of play. We always have to practice, the basic 2-on-1s, 3-on-2s, going in on goal. I mean, we've got a lot of players on the team that are very experienced and know what to do in these situations that we can definitely work on these very.
And your coaches, there's something there's some familiarities amongst all the Great Britain teams, as there is some familiarity across all the Australian teams of the styles we play. But they all have their own little individuality. Is that something you developed during your training camps?
Well, our coach this year is Graham Fletcher, who's currently captain of the GB Elite team. So I mean, there's a lot of the things we're doing are very similar to what the elites are doing. We're just trying to build on the success the elites have had in recent years, and just trying to get ourselves up on the same page as them.
Yeah, I think a lot of countries are starting to do this. So we see the Great Britain team driving through the middle of the pool, using the what I'd call the high priority scoring areas in the middle, because you can go left and go right and go straight. Whereas if you're in the side, you can't. You're sort of limited to that left move, and that makes it easier for the defense. But it looks like the sliding defense of the Australian worked quite well there to bring it back into the corner. But I can tell you what, for both teams, a little easier for Great Britain here, Dave. You can't score from a corner.
Yes, well, no, it's very difficult. No, you can't really at all. But yeah, Australia are managing to keep Great Britain out, and good swing across. Buzzer goes though. But yeah, Australia are doing a good job in keeping Great Britain out. It depends. Let's see how long that they manage to hold on for. Another free puck to Great Britain.
Yeah, look, we got some. There's some subs happening. Looks like the coach of this string is had enough of this pressure and going to get into her girls and have a chat. I'll be interested. The Great Britain discussion at this point, Dave. The girls are really on top of the Australians. Most of the play has been in the Australian half.
Yeah, I mean, I think Coach Glenn and they will just be trying to settle down the girls there, just to tell them, they're on top. They just need to settle down, get the numbers on the bottom, and finally get that puck in the tin. Just need to settle down a bit.
Yeah, I think one of the things that our viewers don't, maybe some of them understand because they play the game, but others who aren't don't understand at this level. This is probably a lot of how many girls in that team is the first time exposure to it, so the emotions get a best of you at time.
Yeah, there's probably about 4 or 5 in here in this under 23 team that's never been. They've never been to a World Championship before.
Yeah, so they seem to settle in right well. I can tell you there's a few Australians, including our import from the UK, number 11, MLMR. This is I guess it's a bit of emotional whirlwind for her playing against her country of birth and all that. So
I think so. I'm sure she's looking forward to getting in the water against this team. She did play for Great Britain on her 23s in Spain, so she's played with a lot of these girls before.
Yeah, and I know the coach of the team, Hannah Robert Tizzo, actually played with the 23 Brits when I think it was the first one, maybe in the Netherlands, because the Australians at that point, the 23s knew we didn't have enough players to field a team in that, so she went over and played in the 23s for Great Britain. Dual citizenship also comes into that, as the referees seem to be playing an advantage, and we're having a quick timeout on their behalf to sort of sort out what they're doing. So we'll get that all things. And we got some messages on the chat here, Dave. Do you know Singer M.A. Jeep? That person's saying, "Go, Dave." Hopefully, I assume it's for you because I don't know.
Yeah, well, I don't know who that is. I mean, you have to reveal yourself. I don't have a clue.
There's Race Milbourne, one of the Australian players from a successful campaign in South Africa. Let's go Aussies. Commentary is back, so it looks like all's working. Good to hear from you, Reese. Hope you're looking after that shoulder, mate, because you got some work to do and enjoy the football in the off season, but we got to switch around there, buddy. As looks like a free puck to the GBs who taken. It's interesting how you take the free pucks. It looked like everyone was behind the puck there. Dave, do you want to have a little bit of I can guess a bit of the insight, but it's good to hear it from the horse's mouth.
Well, this is a completely different way of taking free pucks than what we do in the men's 23. I think it's their own style. They've got it's the way they want to do it. Obviously works for them.
Yeah, it's very South American orientated, where they're all behind the puck. They try to play a more possession game where they actually all the numbers are behind the puck, so the force is always behind it, driving it in, and that's a strategy to use. I know Australia, as most people will see, we actually do that a little differently. We try to feed it into our players to give them a run and support them from behind. I think it comes down to what the team wants, what the teams practice, and what they're comfortable. Changing things in the middle of a tournament is probably not the best thing. What do you say, Dave?
No, I would say that's not the best idea. I mean, as long as you've got a few ideas leading into the World Championship, you can possibly. But I mean, there's different ways of looking at it. I mean, as long as you practice the same way, but no, definitely not changing things through the tournament. That's not a
Yeah, it looks like the Australians are pressing right on the goal tray, and we have an infringement being called. There's some pointing going on by the referees. He's trying to get the attention of a particular player. It looks like a knockdown by the Great Britons, and the Australians will get an opportunity right in front of the goal, Dave. And Captain number 4, Sarah Walker's having a bit clarification to the referee, because I think she probably saw that from a different perspective, but it's still Australian puck, and they're looking to advance it in, Dave.
Yeah, there's only 4 minutes to go in the half. Australia will be looking to score as the be a bit of a psychological blow before half time.
Yeah, with 4 minutes, and it looks like there's just about everyone down there, Dave. But at the moment, we've got the foul being indicated, and the referees are pointing to each other and saying, "Oh, I didn't call it." But again, it looks like it's against the Great Britain.
Yeah, I didn't actually notice there was a Great British player out there. Looks like Maddie Walker.
Oh, yes.
Number 13.
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah.
So
So
down to 5.
they're down to 5 players.
Looks like she's about to get in, though. She's in.
Oh, yeah, we missed that one totally, but don't worry about it, Harry.
Looks like number 13, Maddie Walker.
And we've
Another
got
dirty
some
Arcadian.
more ping finger pointing going, and obstructions being called against the Australian. That looks like it was number 5, Mathia Castellan, who did a bit of an obstruction there, and that's a bit of a let off for the Great Britain team. Yep, and we got there's another style that's showing. They got 2 players taking the puck wide, or clearing it out of the way, obviously in front of the goal, Dave. I didn't quite catch the goal there, but in support on your side was Emmy Pitchford there. She's down there trying to muscle her way into it, but the Australians aren't having a bar of that.
No, Emma's not the biggest player, but she's certainly what she lacks in size and power, she makes up in pure speed and skill. She's a very good player, Emma Pitchford.
And then it looked like Emily Shelley making a drive up there, but was stolen off her bat by the Australians, and a good defensive play there in the middle of the pool. The Australians are trying to open the back line from the Australian, but it sounds, by the sounds of it, we got another call, and we'll try to picture to see what the Australians, but I think it's being called against the Australians. They're asked to move back, and the Greeby gets to reset and possession of the puck, and we got 2 floaters up the top there, and they're sort of slowly going down as the back line, and they're coming off to the side, and they're flicking it wide for obviously some support onto the wall.
Yeah, it's on to number 11, Danielle Ritchie, just driving up the wall, using her, well, I'm going to say she's got a lot of power, forcing up the wall.
Yeah, she looks like she's got some pretty strong Bria fins on there. Hopefully she has some strong legs, because they're hard fins to push if you down. So if she's got the strength on them, that's good on her. Some of the Australian girls are using the Nage fins because they're having a lot of ankles. You having many ankle problems with the fins you use, Dave?
I mean, I use a set of Briars. Actually, earlier this week I did have a slight ankle problem, but it's nothing major that's stopping me playing anyway.
Yeah, well, I think at this time of year, given all that training you've done, Dave, and a lot of these players, that if you see a lot of them, they got bandages here and bandages there, and great shout out to our physios and your physios who actually keep putting us back together and putting us down. So again, back in the end, and the Australians have been pinged again to move back and give a bit of relief to the Great Britain team to actually set up and drive the puck out of play.
Yeah, I think they'll be happy now. Australia have been on top for the last few minutes now. Great Britain will be happy to get into the half with it 0-0, just hopefully a minute to go.
Yes, a few warnings being handled around. They'll hang over until the refs are satisfied that they don't continually do the same sort of fouls. But if they continue to do that, Australia will be asked to sit down on the benches. Once again, we have another foul being done, and we got a chopping call against Great Britain. That looked like number 4, Abby O'Brien there, got pinged, and obviously it was accidental because she's still in the water, and our viewers would know that a lot of these things are unintentional because the game is such a ferocious pace, and this game is at a pace. Whilst one team seems to dominate the other, there's lots of players in the bottom of the pool by both teams. Numbers on the bottom, Dave.
Yeah, certainly so. Which just shows the work that these two teams have done prior. Fitness work done, showing the numbers on the bottom. It's brilliant to see.
Yeah, that was a nice couple of combinations there, but unfortunately the third support player was missing from the Australia, and the Great Britain team gobbled up and take control and take positions to recounter and drive out.
It looks like half time now. 0-0.
Yeah, half time's play, David. Gee, that was a bit of pressure early by the Great Britain team, and the Australians called a timeout, and it seemed to turn the tables a little bit. So I think in that situation we had the Australian coach Hannah Robertizzo obviously make some slight modifications. Where on the British side, they were doing quite well, and they tried to continue at that pace. So at halftime, I expect some stern words from Coach Glenn to the GB team.
Certainly. I think that Great Britain just need to just settle down again and keep settle down, relax into it. I mean, they need to get back to where they were at the start of the half. They're a good side. They just need to kind of show it.
Yeah, it also didn't help that one thing we didn't notice, the Great Britain team went down a player, and that opened the pressure, and that sort of continued even while she joined the play. It is an exciting team, and as we said, both these teams are locked in at 4 and 5 in the table at the moment. 4 games played, 2 wins each and 2 losses. And we're just looking at the goals. Australia has 15 goals for, 15 against, and the Brits have 9 and 9 against. It's really even in the on the stats, in my opinion, Dave.
Yes, and I think this under-23 women's division is a very even division. I don't think there's many teams that are out of it. It's a very, very even division.
Absolutely. If we look through the top, we got New Zealand on top with 4 wins and South Africa with only 1 loss, followed by Colombia 1 loss, and then we move into Australia and Great Britain, followed by Argentina, 1 win. That was a very interesting win against the French yesterday, and I think that surprised a lot of people, including the French. And I think what we saw earlier is that they've started to regroup in the game prior to the one we had. I'm not 100% sure because the scores haven't been provided to us against that, but I'm not sure. I think New Zealand did get on top of the French in that game, or I'm on the wrong schedule. Sorry, Dave. I'll try to find those stats for you.
I think South Africa did manage to win. I think it was 2-1 final score on that one.
Yeah, it was South Africa against French. That's
South
right.
Africa
Yeah. Well picked up, Dave. You found the right sheet. It's over on your side.
It is.
How you going, Harry? Harry, thanks for joining us today. And I know you're learning. Don't stress. It's flipping back and forth. Just calm yourself. You're doing a wonderful job, mate. Way to find out and solve the issues with us that we had earlier. Apologize, folks, but sometimes streaming just happens. And we got Danny Hyam, come on, GB, and Georgie Lai from Britain, obviously. Let's go, GB. Reese Milburn said there's a Sinbin name up there in the top right-hand corner, but I think we've got onto that one. Thanks, mate.
Good old Danny Hyam, former player from the under-23 team in Spain, played alongside him. Obviously, his sister there, Zoe's playing on the ladies' side today. And
we're underway in the second half. We're locked at 0-0 still. 15 minutes of dominations by both teams equally, I would call it, Dave, where we had it up in the Australian end, Australian under pressure by the GBs, and then vice versa. Again, we went the other side where the Australians went against GB, and early call by the referees asking for a timeout, and we got signals going back and forth. I think the chief referee is making clarification on that, and it is an infringement against the Australians, and they've been asked to move back. So that's what 3 referees and the man in charge on the deck is for. I don't know how you think, Dave, but I think the referee is top standard here at this tournament.
It certainly is. There's not really been a foot wrong at all. It's great to see, great to play in. It's fantastic to play in a game which is very well reffed. It's fantastic.
Yeah, and a lot of what our viewers won't see is that the referees have a little room back there where they go and talk about situations and play. So there's a lot of talk across countries because obviously playing in different countries for a long period of times, interpretations, and what we try to do is make sure everyone's on the same page with their interpretations. As once again, the referees have seen something they haven't liked, and the referee's gone directly to, it looks like a number 9, Elise Oates, who's being asked to sit out. I thought he singled 2 minutes, Harry, but I guess we'll get Harry's confirming that Alice Lissa early in the second half has got 2 minutes, and we're only 2 minutes in. That's going to be a big blow for the Brits, but see what the Australians can capitalize on.
Alyssa Oates, the vice captain of this team, she'll be eager to get back in the water.
Yeah, absolutely, and she's sitting there disappointed, but that's what the referee's saying, and there was no back chat for him. She swam straight to the bench, got on the thing, did the right thing, and she's refocusing for the next stick, and we'll see what the Australians can do, and we're having another one, more pointing going on. This one's against the Australian for a bit of an instruction, and that'll give puck control over to the Great Britain side, and the Australians have been asked to move back. Something else the viewers might know, if they see the clear walls in this court, it's a new advent here in Australia. Usually we have a bit of a colors, but also the color markings are help the referees. That blue and white represents about 1.5 meters, Dave, and the referees can turn around, and this way 3 meters are equally marked out across the pool.
No, they're great barriers. I mean, they're screwed down, I noticed the other day. And barriers like that, I mean, in Europe, certainly some of the barriers are, well, they certainly move when you hit them, but these ones are very solid. They're brilliant barriers.
Yeah, we're very fortunate at the Dune Aquatic Center here that actually we have those bolted into the bottom of the pool. So when the pool was originally built, we had built not only for the World Pool, but in our domestic league. I don't know if you were here earlier, Dave, but we usually have 3 courts set up in across the pool for our domestic league, but these are World Champion setup, which is the 25 by 15. And once again, that flexible barrier on this side doesn't give you any advantage if you hold on to it, but it actually allows for clear play and clear vision from our wonderful high-definition cameras to see what's going on this side as the puck goes to the far side, so we can't see it, Dave.
Yeah. But even on this screen anyway, you can see all the way to the other side. It's fantastic, the streaming. It's brilliant.
Yeah, I hat off again to our streaming gurus, and we had some professional people in there helping us on setting it out, but the people running it at the moment are all volunteering their time. And as Nick would have said on the glory days, is that the Underwater Hockey Commission of Australia has funded this, and the Tasmanian Underwater Hockey Commission has brunt some of the bearing of this. And we're looking for, if you're really enjoying this stream, and jump on and put a donation in. Yesterday, I think, Dave, we had over 1,000 people watching a particular game. We got about 97 days worth of streaming happening that people can watch right now.
It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
We've got the Australians pressing in the end, and the Brits' defence excellently covered that and wound it out of their sides, with the Australians trailing, trying to get some dominance. But the defence of the Great Britain is quite strong. What sort of structure you use there, Dave? You using a 2-1-2-1, or is it a sort of a 2-3-2?
I believe this is more of a 3-3 formation, maybe with slightly a 2-1-3 possibly.
Yeah, 3-2-1 type of Australian. Use a 3-2-1 traditionally. I know the girls can switch from a 3-2-1 to a 3-3, but it really depends on the situation in the game, what it requires. So very similar styles playing each other, but we seem to spend a fair bit of time bottled up on the wall at the moment, Dave. Definitely.
I mean, the Australians just holding it in their corner, driving up the wall now. See if they can get an attack moving.
Yeah, 5 minutes gone. We're still locked at 0-0, and I know Harry's getting sore thumbs from switching because it's going from end to end to end, and so the Australians make a drive it up to the Brits' end. The Brits defend and drive it back to the Australian and back and forth.
So move, big lay back there in the middle of Australia. Found a little bit of space in here.
Yeah, looking for the support, but the support was slow to get down, but. It's picked up again, and they're looking for support by swinging it wide again. It's good to see they're using the space, Dave, but they seem to get to the other side, and they just clog it up there for a little bit, swim it to the other side, clog it up. It's a sort of side-to-side action as well as end-to-end.
Yeah. I mean, these two sides are very swimmy teams. I mean, they're using the space. Australia certainly are trying to stretch the Great Britain team.
Yeah, I got number 2 there, Victoria and Vickamore, as we know her as Tori. Just was rolled off, but she rolled off initially and then was rolled back. But the referees have stepped in and saw something they didn't like. And we're looking at the chief referee is indicating, "No, sorry, Chris, it's not yours." I see the other ref. He's pointing to someone else who made the initial call. And we have a 1-minute penalty being applied to, and I'm not sure if that, I can see it's a double-digit number, but is it, she's coming swimming over to this side. It looks like number 10. Number 10,
Susie Beddoe.
Yeah.
Another one of the more experienced players in this team, been to a few World Championships, has Susie.
Yeah, obviously the referee didn't see something they liked there, Dave. I didn't catch what it was, but she's just taking her glove off and having a drink, and she's going to sit down. Obviously, she doesn't like sitting, but she will. The clock is stopped for her penalty, so she'll get 1 minute there, Dave, by the looks of it. chief referees asked her to sit down because in this game you have to sit on the sin bin, and they're pretty regimented about that, Dave.
Yeah, well, I've only managed to have been sent out once so far in this tournament, and I did sit straight down to get back in the pool as quickly as possible.
Absolutely, and I know through the Australian teams we have you get a penalty, you have to actually pay the price, and we have a fine system. So, do you have a fine system in the Great Britain teams?
We certainly do. Luckily, I'm not near the top of that leaderboard. Our team junior, Adam Coote, is, unfortunately.
So you dobbed him in right there, Dave. Yeah, you mentioned him live on the streaming.
I have.
He's gonna. That's a fine in itself, I'd say, Dave.
No, he's. Oh, not a fine for me. Neil, our fine master's over sitting in the stand, so he's not heard it yet.
You guys watching the games after from the streaming, but it looked like the referees asked 1 minute for a player to take it, and she's trying to swim out. That looks like Sunny Pascoe. She's now moved to Hobart, but she's from West Australia down in Margaret River, and a big shout out to those folks down in Margaret River. And it looks like yes, you're right, Reese. It's a big second half. Come on, ladies, and we'll make sure that message is just as the pressure of the number Sunny's sitting on the deck. The Brit lady Susie is ready to get back in. So they're both at 5, but only for a short moment. But at that point, the timeout has been called by the Australian team. Although the refs seem to be talking, but that could be just because it's a timeout. No, a timeout's been called by the Australians, and she's rallying the groups. Hannah didn't like something, obviously, end to end, and so is Coach Glenn, Dave.
Yeah, I mean, there's only 7.5 minutes to go in this game. Still at 0-0. Great Britain have the advantage puck. They'll be wanting to score from this.
Yeah, absolutely. I think both teams want to score vigorously, and we only have, like you said, 7 minutes left, and now's the time to put it all out there. And let's see what that timeout has driven. Coach Glenn has said the words. The girls are back in the box. Coach Hannah Robert Chizzo has said her words to the girls, and they're both, like I said, 5-on-5, but it's only seconds. I reckon it's just the touch of the puck, and Susie will be joining back in. But it looks like Sunny will be spending a minute on the side, and the Australians will be defending for that period as the Great Britons take the free puck, Dave.
Yeah, looks like Australia managed to back in the middle of the pool. Sorry, Great Britain just trying to hold it in the middle of the pool, trying to get a drive on towards the goal. Yeah,
the Australian defence is sort of gobbled up the puck there, and we got the referees obviously not happy with something. And we're seeing what the signal. We got a chop. He's signaling plate advantage against the Australians, so they'll be asked to back up again. And the Great Britain team's back to full strength, and the Australians are down a player, so they're going to have to defend with their little hearts in front of that goal if they want to stay in this game with 6 minutes and 55 seconds to go.
Yeah, the Australians have been defending very well, stopping the Brits from moving forwards towards there.
Yeah, it looks like another call in from James Harris. If that's James in Canberra, good to hear from you, buddy. Come on, Aussies, and yeah, we're doing that. The Brits are driving up the wall. Everyone's on the bottom. Referees are looking for it. We've got one signal on this side. We got a timeout being called. I think the close referee might have saw something different than what the other referees have said. They'll get together to confirm. That's the idea of having three referees in there. They see it from different angles, as you can imagine, Dave. That was that was every player. That was 10 almost. There's 6 players from the Great Britons down, and there was 5 from the Australians down there.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, when you try and attack up the back wall, you are leaving yourself open to some fisting up the wall.
So it's a no goal, free puck. That's a huge let off, Dave, for the Australians, and it looks like it's someone actually is also
going out.
Chopping as a warning given to the player in the bench. So we get a warning, and it was obviously looked like a gloving. I wasn't sure on the call, Dave, but the Aussies get a big let off there.
Yeah, it could have been a legal stoppage, I think. It was a bit of a wave of the hand.
No, it was a legal stop. That's right. That's the karate chopping action there down. So, yes, you're right, Dave. It was a legal stop on that. Well done. We're back down. There's all the numbers of all the teams, all the players on the bottom, rotating through. The Brits are trying to do it, and looks like Bridie there. I'm trying to clear it, but again, the referees right on top of the play are looking for players. Looks like he's pointing at number 9. And that's Alyssa Oates, who's been a bit of an obstruction, Dave.
Yeah, Alyssa Oates, vice captain as well. She's already been out in this game.
And that's the ferocity in that 3 meter on that tray, Dave. And you put all the numbers down there. We're bound to rub elbows in there. We're not the delicate flowers, are we, Dave?
you've got to try and get that puck in the goal anyway. Well, not anyway, but as cleanly as possible.
Yeah, unfortunately, Singer Majip, it must have been a goal. It was disallowed because of an illegal stop. So the Australians are got a bit of a reprieve and a free puck, but the Brits are driving once again, streaming right in there. But they're being repelled by the Australian defence. But it's blocked on that corner of the goal. The Brits are trying frantically to recycle it. It's sliding underneath. Oh, just missed it. That British girl, but it was stolen off her and looked like. I'm not sure who that was, but it might have been Bridie Hilder, one of the defenders. Number 7 there drove it out into the corner as looks like so that was a nice body check in it. It looks like someone there. But that's the way it happens in this game, Dave. It's like basketball, I describe it to most people, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's a non-contact sport, but obviously there is contact. It's like football as well. I mean, there's like that kind of thing.
Yeah, well,
soccer and for anybody else outside of the UK.
Yeah, we're back to full strength, but the Great Britons are pressuring hard and testing that defense of the Australian. We got fingers being pointed, and the referees are calling everything, but it looks like, again, one of the referees picking up Elisa. He has obviously seen something what she's done, and they're going to have another powwow in the middle of the pool. And whilst it's probably very frustrating for the players, Dave, I get your opinion when they do this. Wouldn't you rather have them, sort it out and make the correct call in the second?
Well, I mean, when you see situations like this, I mean, it would be ideal. I mean, these players are so set in their way they play. It's hard to get them out of that habit of anything. I mean, the referees see it; they're going to keep going at it, aren't they?
Yeah, especially that close to the goal tray, and I'm sure the vice captain would really love to put one in the tray. But, you get the opposition that she's playing against, and the Australians don't want going in either, so something's bound to give way, and this is what the referees want to talk about.
I mean, the Australia... got a penalty, have we?
Yeah, they're discussing a penalty here with obviously a foul curled in the thing. They're trying to explain that to... they're still not 100% sure, but they're looking for someone who might have called it. And we're looking at a penalty. So that's 2 Britain players will play against one of the, and looks like Victoria Wickham, fullback for Australia, is actually going to take this one. I'm not 100% sure if that's her, or if that's Claudia Payne. I'm not sure. And who's the?
So we've got Alyssa Oates, and who's that number?
Yeah, and the play's been called. It's come out. It's been tripped in.
Oh,
and it's been
saved, has it?
I think it's been saved. And looking for the referees. The referees haven't seen anything, but look, we've got to wait for their call. We're saying no one's seen anything, but we're signaling no goal here. It looks like, yes, it was Victoria Wickham who took that play. And a save for Victoria Wickham. I'm telling you what a huge left off, because Dave, 2-on-1s are in the favors of the attacking team, and it's rare that it just occurred for our watching fans, isn't it?
It certainly is. I mean, it's be a bit of a blow from for GB missing a penalty, but I think they'll be very determined in getting back up their end of the pool.
Yeah, Dave, unfortunately there's been a bit of heated discussion happened. The chief referee did not stand for it, and he's asked for someone from the Great Britain team to come over to the bench, because obviously he wasn't happy with her action, and unfortunately it's your vice captain, and we won't mention her name this time, but I can understand her disappointment, because 2-on-1s should be gone in your favor, but unfortunately not this way in Australia. What a let-off.
It's a huge let-off. I mean, Great Britain in this second half, they have been piling in on the pressure. But it has been relentless defence from Australia. It's been brilliant, but Great Britain will be disappointed, but they'll be driving to get this goal.
Yeah, well, they're playing 1 minute with a player up, and they're already deep in the Brits attack, where they haven't been for the last, what do we got left? 3 minutes. I would say probably the last I'd not say 12 minutes it's been on the Australian goal, and this is sort of a rarity. So the Great Britons were definitely dominating that second half, Dave.
Yes, now Australia are driving in. Oh, it's in the tin, is it?
It looks like it's in the tin. Are we seeing a turnaround here? 3 referees saying, yes, a goal. Dave, that's got to be so heartbreaking for the girls. I feel for them, even though I'm Australian, but I feel for that, because a penalty shot and then turned around, a penalty. And I'm sure Alyssa is feeling absolutely shattered on that, Dave.
It's a huge blow for the girls. I think is that a timeout being called?
Yeah, I see a timeout for Great Britain. They'll have to do something. Coach Glenn will have to calm his girls down and get them revved up because we still got 3 minutes, and that's plenty of time to score a couple goals, Dave.
Certainly has plenty of time to score. They've got the players in that team that they can score in this 3 minutes that we have left.
Yeah, and we've got James Martin here in Hobart. Nice one, Tori. Thanks for the shot. James Harris, huge Tori. And Reese Millman all the way in WA. What a save. And right you are. And I know those boys play hockey, and they all know defending a free puck is not an easy task. And in this case, it turned right around, and we've got 1 goal up for Australia, and they'll be on a bit of a high. But let's see if Coach Glenn can get his team sparked up again, Dave.
Yeah, certainly after a timeout, both teams will be going at 100 mile an hour to that puck.
Absolutely, and we saw dominance on that, and Alyssa's just about ready to get back in the pool to join the team. She'll probably get in right on the touch, and just as I said, she's been touched, she's back in and should join them, and I reckon she's got some venom in her soul to get some going happen.
She only does. She's a very fast swimmer, and be hoping to repeat her feats of yesterday against New Zealand, where she did swim the length of the pool against them.
Yeah, well, I can see her. She's already in there, and she's had a huge work effort today. Yes, she's been sitting on the sim bin, but that's a result of the energy she puts in. And I must say, almost every play we've had someone like Alicia, and she's been working a workhorse. And because of that effort, unfortunately, she's got pinged a couple of times. But that's just our game, Dave.
Well, Alyssa's one of the ones in this team that has played elite level hockey. She was in South Africa last year playing for the elites, along with Danielle Ritchie, the team captain. So I mean, there is some. There's 2 of those ones that have already played elite level hockey.
Well, isn't that interesting? Because Tori played in the women's side in South Africa as well, so she's well versed on it. But she outcrafted, unfortunately, her counterpart who was there as well. So we got another stoppage in play, and the chief referee is sort of signaling. We got, and unfortunately, I hate to say this, Dave, but Alicia is back in there, and another 2 minutes to her. She went in with vengeance, but obviously a bit too hard.
Looks like it. It does look like it. But hopefully the five Great Britain ladies can.
Yeah, we're down. Brits are down to 5. I'm not going to mention her name because I know she's playing her heart out and she'd be disappointed. So there's no disrespect here at all, Dave. I'm not playing the fun on her. I just know how hard, and her heart is totally in this. Oh, and you're right, Mr. Singham Jeep, totally against the run of play.
I mean, Alyssa's a very hard-working player. She will be disappointed, but she is. She will get back in and work her.
Yeah, she's a fighter. So we got and look at the fight going on. The Great Britain team, let's remind our viewers, they're down to 5, and we're deep in the Australian end. So they're doing one here for her.
Yeah, I think one thing's for sure, they're not going to give up. They're going to be driving to get this equalising goal.
Yep. So we've got another Australian being took down. Now, I thought that by the swimming style looked like Sonny Pascoe has been asked to sit out again, and I'm not sure the number of time, but I say it's 1. So we're back to 5-on-5, Dave.
Yeah, not long to go now. Just under 2 minutes to go. Plays.
Yep, and we've got the play going on, and the referees are calling it again. It's deep in the Australian end. The referee's coming up, and we're seeing what's going on.
Looks like a false start from Australia, so it's another free hit to
looks
Great
like
Britain.
A team warning on it was a false start. The whole team gets a warning on this. This is coming down to the wire. We got 1 minute 43 seconds to go. We've got both teams down to 5 players, but I think the Great Britain player will join in probably about a minute before the Australian player goes in, but I'm not sure. Did she get a 1 minute penalty? I think it's just a 1 minute. She got 1 minute, so they might be joining in together, and we'll be back to 6-side.
Yeah, we're in for an exciting finish here.
Not that one. Yeah.
Yes, and we're underway again. It's the start of the play. It's all the players are down. One team guarding, the other one trying to put it in. We have another call being made. We're unsure. He's pointing at, is that number 11 for Great Britain?
Number 11, that's the captain, Danielle.
And she's being sent out for 2 minutes. Obviously, he didn't like what she did in there, and I would say she probably just fought for position and fought a bit too hard, Dave.
Looks like it. I mean, just the determination to get that puck in the tin. She definitely...
Yeah, and the Australians held the ground. They get a free puck here, and they'll be looking to secure that with one player in the bin and likely to join very shortly. And And unfortunately, the GPs are down to 2 at the moment, so that's 5 on 4. And then shortly, I think we'll go to 5 on 6. And players are looking at the clock. There's still 1 minute to go, Dave. Anything can happen, and this is nail biting.
It certainly is. Australia just drive it to the wall, coming towards the camera side.
Yeah, and you can see there's a lot more space in the pool with that many with players sitting on the sin bin. There's a bit more space, and unfortunately, when you swim that fast over the other side, your support's way behind you.
Yeah, I mean, this is reminding me of the game last night against Turkey that we played when we were down to about 3 on 4 at one point and everything like that. I mean, it's...
Yeah, you've been on the other end of the Turkish onslaught. I mean, was it as rough as the number of people sitting in there as it was, Dave?
I don't know if it was. I mean, it was obviously a very physical game. I mean, like they're just, it's the way they play. They're very physical. And
we've got another Australian being asked to come sit on the side. I'm sure, I think that was number 9. Cami has been sit. So we're down to 5 on 4. And we haven't seen the players enter the bins, and people are actually we've got another stoppage of play. We got referees pointing in directions and stuff. If we could have the surface, we can actually see what's going on. But there you go. Thanks, Harry, for switching it in. And we've got referees explaining what's going on. But the Australians have been asked to another player out of the pool. The referees are not liking anything that's going on by both teams with this tense moment to play with about 44 seconds. It's a 4-on-4 game here now at the moment. Dave, with Captain Alyssa, Vice Captain Alyssa, ready to get back in the play, just at the touch of the play, I suspect. No, she's got a couple more seconds to go, but she's joining in, and it's 5-on-4, and we have another stoppage, and I'm not sure what's going on here.
That puck's in the tray. Are they calling a goal? No,
I'm not sure. No, it doesn't look like it's a goal. It's been defended. In that case, it's usually probably an Australian puck.
Yes,
but it's an Australian puck, and I suspect with 20 seconds to go, if they don't take it into one of the corners, I'd be very surprised. But I'm not seeing what's going on because there's lots of switching and lots of penalties, and our man Switcher here is doing a great job, but he's not sure who the players are. I wouldn't worry about it, Harry, if you can put the screen back for us. We can see, and it's we've got another call, and we got 12 seconds to go, and we got playing the advantage. He's pointing at a Great Britain player, and he's looking. He's not sure who it is, but he's got finger pointing everywhere. We got another 2 minutes, and I know I don't want to say it. I don't. We'll see who swims out, but it was another 2 minutes.
It's now or never for Great Britain.
That's not what we want to see. We already got 2 in the sin bin. One girl's taking her gear off. We got 2 Australians in the sin bin, and we've got the third Brit in the sin bin. So that's 4 on 3. Lots of space in the pool now. That's all I can say.
Lots of space, and the time is unfortunately running out for this Great Britain side.
Yeah, and look, I think those girls are disappointed that it's 3, and it's bring to the close of the game. Not a way to finish, I think, with all those sin bins at a time, but that's what the refereeing's for, to call a fair game. And we see 1-0 for the Australian over Great Britain. Dave, it's been an honor for that. I hope to see you back soon in the booth. Good luck with the rest of your day's game. And I'm going to go try and grab some of the girls and get their feedback on the game. So I'll go on the deck if you want to wind up. No, sorry. I'm getting the signal, and unfortunately we won't be able to chat with the girls. But, Dave, I'll be interested in hearing from you what the girls had thought about that game, given the closure where it seemed to be all the teams were sitting on the side.
Definitely. I mean, the girls will be disappointed, but they're going to have to bounce back for the next game.
Absolutely, and we'll leave that to them. And, look, we have to swap over to the next game. Dave, thank you again for joining me and providing some of that insight, and good luck again for the rest of the day.
Thank you very much.